marketing, entrepreneurship, and all things small business. You're listening to the Jurassic Marketing's Triceratops. Now, here's your host, Justin Miller.
All right, we are back again with a special edition of the podcast. We actually have a guest today.
I know, this is crazy. Technology running crazy here in the studio.
All right, joining us virtually, and hopefully all our new technology works for this. I have Nick Luisi, who is a long time friend, probably over a decade, right, Nick? Nick he's living the sales guy life, not like the selling, but the teaching you how to be better and your people at being better. So he's got a company called Sales Performance Team, and we're talking sales today instead of marketing and instead of direct mail. I think there might be some dovetails in there, but we'll see. So Nick, thanks for being here.
Justin, it's an honor. Kevin, it's an honor. I've never had such a phenomenal introduction in all of my podcasts. I've been on 50 to 60 podcasts, and I got to say, I love that. I'm going to have that as my walk-on music on my next speech.
You need the dinosaur roars?
I need the dinosaur roll. It invigorated me to talk about all things sales and marketing.
I don't know what the other buttons do here, so we won't hit them.
Don't touch those.
I have no idea. Kevin knows a couple of them.
There you go.
But yeah, we've worked together a little in the past too. But before we dig into the sales tactic and management, tell me a little about your history. Like, how did we end up where we're at right now? Because I know you from a few different hats. So give me the short version of why on earth you love sales and how do we get to this point?
Well, so I came from a family of entrepreneurs. My grandmother instilled in me from day one, if you don't own the cash register or you can't make the cash register ring, then you shouldn't be in business. So after college, I started, first sales job, then went on to another one, then went on to another one, and then got kind of on the marketing side of things to learn about demand and demand generation. Hold an agency where we did a lot of direct response, direct mail. I know you do a lot of that. I love it. Then went to a marketing education, sales education company where we kind of both learned each other, GKIC, magnetic marketing, no BS, whatever phrase you want to do. One of the ways that this company came about was marketers and entrepreneurs could figure out marketing, right? They could figure out lead generation. They all had their hearts broken on the sales side. They hired salespeople that didn't sell. They hired salespeople that maybe sold, but then took their book of business to their competition. Or they didn't follow a sales process. And so we started doing that inside GKC, full disclosure, kind of test kitchened it out, saw that there was a business there, and then spun it off. And we've been doing it for 5 years.
Yeah, I would love to tell people that they could drop a sales letter in the mailbox or a postcard and they didn't have to do anything else then. The money just rolled in. It turns out there's like another part of that process that involves human beings often.
You need that other part, but you need the front part. You need the direct mail, you need the newsletter, you need the postcard because it gives the salespeople ground cover or a reason to call. So I'm all for it.
Yeah, so let's talk about without that in play. We are having to do a lot of outbound prospecting. I think most of the business owners I talk to, it's getting a little more difficult right now. They're having to try harder, having to do more. And for us, that means we can't just rely on the direct mail. So yes, we pick up the phone and we call out, which is a different skill set typically than marketing. I'm kind of curious your thoughts on if someone is just doing that for the first time. What are the first considerations on getting started and getting results from doing that rather than just spending time on the phone?
So I think a great sales outbound strategy is similar to a typical marketing strategy. So you have to have a USP or a hook. Reason for my call. You have to kind of break through the clutter, i.e. a headline, and you got to do it. And then you have to have a call to action. And the call to action is another call, set up a meeting, buy my stuff. Send Jason money. send Justin money, Kevin money, whatever it is. So that's the next step. And so it sounds like this. Hey, Kevin, weren't expecting my call. Just wanted to grab about 5 seconds from you. Talk a little bit about putting XYZ into your company. We're seeing a lot of great results with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I know I caught you cold. Let's just get something on the calendar, and then we can go deep on this. So it's very easy. And so for the salesperson, it should come natural. For the business owner, it's going to be a little more difficult because they haven't done it. And so they have to kind of just be comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Let's talk about that. So is there a natural born salesperson?
Some yes. Some have the ability to pick up the phone. Doesn't even phase them. Keep on going. No, doesn't mean anything. Usually they come from a highly competitive background. Maybe it's sports, or maybe they're in the arts. Especially if they've done the H theater or improv, they're going to be natural, or they can be trained to be natural. Some are horrible, and they shouldn't do it, and they're in the wrong job. And
okay,
so we
tell me what happens then. If the business owner is trying to make these calls, how do they know if they're horrible or not? You know, what
is it working?
I was going to say, what initial metrics? Because maybe they're having great conversations that go nowhere, or let's talk through what that looks like, because that we have an evolution of this process, and I don't declare what you're doing or teaching or implementing to be an easy thing. I prefer a system where you program it and it just goes. Well, you work in a field with human beings involved.
AI bots soon, but yeah. So there should be some metrics. So first is how many outbound dials does it take for me to have a conversation? 10 to 1, 10 to 3, right? That's the first metric. Then the next metric from that, how many of these conversations move to an appointment? And then how many appointments close? Or have a second appointment, or a third appointment, whatever your sales process is. So when I first started, I had a lot more hair, and I sat in the cubicle, and they said for every 10 outbound calls, you'll connect with 3 people, and you'll get one appointment. That was 10-3-1, and that stuck for number of years. Now it might be 23-1, right?
I was going to say, that sounds like an amazing ratio. I would love it if my number looked like that.
Yeah, so it's a little higher now. One is spam calls. So what is your outbound comma? So test your outbound. What does it look like? 2 is everybody is letting things go to voicemail, right? So you have to have a compelling voicemail. You have to be a headline, call to action. 3 is you got to be persistent. It used to be 5 to 8 outbounds to get that first connect. It's higher now. 15, 12 to 15. So,
let's talk about what you define a conversation as. So we're B2B. So we're calling into businesses. They, for the most part, answer their phone. So when does my rep get to declare that a conversation versus a connect?
A person that can move the sale forward. Either talking to a decision maker, or in your case, you might be talking to a director of marketing, right? Or a marketing manager. She can move the sale forward. Maybe can't say yes 100%, but you could definitely say no.
So the front desk answering, as pleasant as the conversation may have been, doesn't necessarily count.
No, that's just chit chat.
Which beats voicemail, but
it
still,
does. It's for
it's for your entertainment value only.
All right.
All right, so let's take it a step further then. So we've called, we've gotten the conversation, we're watching those metrics. You gave us some example metrics, which still sound like great numbers to me. I can tell you ours are way lower on that, which I guess let's go there. So how do you diagnose where to put your next effort? So this is more on the sales management side, right? So, okay, we've started, we're making some calls, maybe reluctantly, maybe not. We have some initial metrics. How do we know whether or not those mean anything? So do I have to make, 100 dials before this really means anything? I guess where to focus attention to actually create an impact.
So I think you need 2 weeks of solid outbound. And that can ferret out your numbers. But what I mean by that is there's 4 hours on the phone, 5 hours on the phone, right? And I think unless it's a call center shop, it's difficult because they have other. I know your team. They have other work to do, and the average person can't talk on the phone for 8 hours straight. So 2 hours to 3 to 4 every day will give me hopefully 30 to 100 dials that day. Then over the course of 2 weeks, I should have 1,000 dials, roughly. Now from there, I'll have good numbers.
Okay, so once we're hitting in closer to 1,000, we have statistical data that means something.
Correct.
That's a lot of dials, by the way. So I would think, some business owners are going to get frustrated before they get there.
That frustrates me listening to it. I can't imagine calling 1,000 people to try to get business, because the amount of people that might work with me, there probably isn't 1,000 of them in my area.
It might be.
There might be. Yeah.
But by the way, I'm
just calling people more than once.
Well, that's the other thing I was going to say. That how do you count is part of that second, third follow-up to the point where you actually get that person on the phone or get a response or get a meeting with them.
Right.
Yeah. By the way, Nick, I'm just going to turn this into a free consultation for us and hope that's instructive to others. But
I hope so.
If you have something I miss that is critical to our audience who you're kind of familiar with, make sure you interject that and get me back on that track. But I mean, this is literally where we're at. So we're calling more than ever before. We've called all our warm leads. We do pretty good with that. I hope that most business owners do pretty good with that. If not, obviously you start there, right? But then guess what? That list is over. We have
now you're on the warm to medium warm to cold.
Yeah.
So knowing that you're a good marketer, my guess is you have a pretty tight ideal customer profile. ICP. Now you should be able to have talk tracks on that ICP. Yours is great. Hey, listen, do you want more business? Or do you got enough? If you got enough, God bless you. If you want more, we should talk.
I was at a couple trade shows where the response to that question was not what I wanted. We stopped serving that industry, by the way.
Was it they had enough business?
Times. Yeah, I heard enough. I'm just going to ride this out to retirement. We're good. Okay. I was going to say, as an entrepreneur, this didn't click. This drove me nuts. But yeah, you can't make them want it, I suppose.
So I've got my 1,000 dials. I know roughly what my connection rate is with a qualified conversation of something that can move the deal forward. And then I should figure out what do I say to them, and what do I have to adjust of what I'm saying to them to get the meeting. Because a cold call is nothing more than just getting the meeting. That's it. And that's what you should be doing all day long, and that's what your team should be doing.
So there's a question I have I see so many people that are trying to sell the minute they get that person on the phone. That first call is just to get that appointment. You're not trying to really sell them anything.
100%.
Yeah.
I knew I liked
it. Is that just a natural sales thing to I got you on the phone, so I should try to close you right now?
That's desperation.
Yeah.
And I don't want to make any more calls. So if I get that one sale, I'm going to ring the bell. I'm going to walk up and down the aisles of the cubicles. I'm going to go tell my boss how great I am. And then I'm going to go on YouTube or Facebook. Not your team. I know your team. Your team's good.
As long as they're
people that are listening.
I mean, I haven't heard the bell ring while we're talking. We do have the bell, as you know.
Yeah, you got the bell.
I'm going to make a note because we'll come back to that. We'll come back to incentivizing. I think a lot of people have questions around that as well. All right, so we got 1,000 calls. We have some decent numbers out of 1,000 calls. I mean, honestly, I would be thrilled with 15 consults that showed up.
Yeah.
I
think that's fair.
Yeah. So 1,000 calls took us 2 weeks. So we got 7 consults a week showing up. So probably have to schedule more than that. I would assume the outbound cold scheduling probably has a little bit more no-show rate than a warm lead, but
it's what we see is about 50-50. From inbound, somebody booking on your calendar from an email or from a Facebook ad versus a call. It's about 50. It's about the same.
Gotcha. Do you want to go into the next call then, the consultative sales process? Because a lot of people are going to get caught up with just doing any outbound. But let's assume, we'll give them the benefit of the doubt that one way or another they fought through that process and got some people on their calendar.
Yeah.
Let's talk through that, or tell me, the people you serve, where do you see their biggest holdups? Where are they getting stuck? Like right now in this economy.
Right now in this economy, the only thing that we see breaking through the clutter is the phone, and some highly targeted and qualified LinkedIn messaging. Email's not working. Direct mail works, but they won't make the investment, right? And you know that. So, but those that do it well have dialed in their ICPs. Have really good talk tracks based on the ICP. The team knows the value prop and could just keep on doing it all day long. They're using some technology, parallel dialers, tight necks, those type of things, so that they get more output. There's companies out there that will take your list and tell you if these telephone numbers get answered. That helps the person.
Gotcha.
There's data cleanup, right? Apollo, those type of things. So you have
so we got marketers listening, Nick. So we got marketers listening, and you mentioned tech. So you're not going to be able to get off the hook here without saying a couple of programs they might go Google, because they're going to.
Right. Well, I gave them two, right? So tight necks or Alloware. There's been parallel dialers all day long. Everybody should know who those are, right? Apollo will help them clean up their data. Domo will help them clean up the data, right? You probably have sources. So I'm gonna call you to clean up data. So.
Yeah, I mean, we can append phone numbers to lists and stuff like that.
Yeah.
We like to stay pretty focused on the mailing side, but absolutely, if you have a list you're going to hammer with mail, it probably makes sense to call them and say, "Hey, I mailed you something. Did you get it?"
Amen.
How many are willing to do that might be more limited, but that's what we're trying to give you today. We're trying to give everyone, if you're willing to put in the work, here's what's working right now, and everyone has a varying level of what they're willing to put in, right?
We're all humans, right? And we all want the easy button, and I respect that. I'll point my finger. I got 4 going back at me. Do I want to be doing this? No. If my teams could get away with sending emails, it'd be great. We've got about 15 clients. All have outbound in their process.
Let's talk about that. So let's talk about the clients you serve.
Okay.
What logistically do you like to put in play for them? Or do we have teams of people that are just outbound and then like account execs that manage inbound? Do we suggest that the same person takes them all the way through the sale? Specific to the ones that you're working with, the industries you serve, what are you seeing?
It's a mixed bag depending on the industry. So some industry have cradle to grave, like we talked about. Account executive has to source the lead and then takes lead all the way through the process. Others have SDRs, and the SDR is sourcing the meetings, but they're highly incentivized on meetings showing and closing. So the days of just paying for meetings, forget it. And then AE takes the process through. Some teams were setting up Latin America SDRs. Less expensive, and we'll make phone calls all day long. Historically, we've used the Philippines, but that's a demographic that is passive, and so we don't see them really push for the appointment. They're great at calling lists that are maybe warm lists to get people to events or to show up for webinars. But the pure play cold calling, unless they're seasoned, it's difficult. So, and then go ahead.
I was just gonna say, and then you are the one helping with scripting, hiring, placing. I know you have a brand here. Your sales recruiter. Maybe tell us a little about that.
Yeah, so we do it all. Right? We create the playbook, talk track, scripting, objection handling, and then historically we only did recruiting for our clients. But then at the end of last year, we created a new company, which is your play recruitment, and so we're doing a lot of that work now.
Nice. So you identified a pain point that we got buy-in. We see what we should be doing, and we aren't going to do it on our own because we're busy putting out other fires, I assume is
correct.
What's going on in most of the businesses. I feel that pain. And I try and stay out of the day-to-day, but I still feel it. All right. You mentioned a couple of times, incentivizing, right? And you mentioned that we use some non-US labor because it's cheaper. So let's talk through that, because that's probably a major question is, how much do I pay people? And not necessarily like, if I hire you to do this all for me, what's it cost?
Yeah.
But, if I'm trying to put this in play and work through it, how do I keep performance going? What's it really going to cost? Is it worth all the effort at the end of the day?
Well, so you back in what's the cost per meeting? What am I willing to pay for that meeting? And so that tells you what you could pay from a staffing perspective. From a commission or spiff or bonus, and kind of going forward. So what's my cost per customer? What's my cost per meeting? What's my cost per lead, if you will, right? Or one person that I can market to. Because an SDR doing their job might not be just getting you meetings, but also get you good quality warm leads that could go into your marketing vehicle. And give you good intelligence. Who your competitors are, who your competition is, who do they use if they don't use your type of services. They'll get that information. And so sometimes SDR should sit in the marketing side of the business, because they're getting a lot of good intelligence. Not only are they setting the meetings, but other stuff. So,
I was kind of thinking, so if I hire that out, I'm thinking about appointments and I'm doing the math around that.
Yeah.
But there's some indirect benefit there too. And is that typical? Like, if I were to outsource the calling to someone, I assume the appointments are going to pop on the calendar and that's what I'm going to get.
A good team should be able to give you that feedback. They should be reviewing the calls that their people are doing. And give you here's what constant themes that we're hearing, and if not, you build that into the contract so that they're doing that for you.
Yeah. So the recurring theme here is, we can't just tell someone to do this and it gets done. management.
I wish they could, but yeah, you're 100%.
So let's talk through some of that sales management then. So we have some activities being done. Some calls are being made. We're getting some appointments. You went through some of the metrics that we're looking at. So outbound calls to conversations, what percentage schedule, what percentage show up. From a sales management role, then, call it at the early stages of outbound, what are really the things that, I guess the activities, what are the daily or weekly activities from a sales management standpoint to keep this thing rolling and not just turning into a time and money suck?
So the first thing is daily huddles. I mean, you do a good job of that from the operation, but this is sales huddle. What do we hear? Rah, objections, doing some role playing, some coaching for the team and the individual. That could be done on a one-on-one. What was our talk time? Right. So how many conversations are we having with a qualified person, and for how long? Right. And then what's converting? What are our numbers? Who got a deal? Who got an appointment? Who got five appointments? Some gamification in that. Cheering, happiness, ringing the bell, and maybe some.
I can't just crack the whip over. That doesn't work.
Well, you can. You can have a high turnover. Today's day and age is softer. Wasn't like you and I were starting.
A lot of unemployment claims if I do that. Got it. Cheaper to. Okay, so that's on a daily frequency. We're going through that, and another behind the scenes right now. So we love tech. We love tech. I have a marketing background, and it seems to me, and the staff's heard me push back a lot, that a lot of data just goes to Google Sheets to die. And I am on like a mission right now to get the damn whiteboards all over the walls and get this front and center.
Yeah.
Curious your thoughts.
Well, I like digital. Put it to a TV monitor that your KPIs are up there for everybody. How many dials did Nick do? How many did Jason do? How many did Kevin do? How many did Justin do? How many did Mary do? How many did Kathy do? And then what were their connects? And I put it on the big screen so everybody could see. And that's the best way to do it.
We do love TVs around here too, as you know.
Yeah.
They're everywhere.
Yeah. The old days we do whiteboards, right?
Yeah.
But now you Google Sheets that are updated immediately.
I think sometimes we get caught in the tech. I keep pushing for low. The direct mail guy is pushing for low tech. Imagine that.
Surprise.
All right, so we got kind of our daily huddle. We've gone through those. What are the more infrequent things? So is there a weekly, or what is the behind the scenes activity of the sales manager that's not visible to the sales team necessarily?
Well, the behind the scenes should be visible to the sales team is call reviews and call coaching. Listening to the call with them live or retrospective, recorded and given them immediate feedback. That should be happening daily.
Okay, so daily. When there's an issue, or just a certain time of the day we get together and we coach through this?
Certain time of the day, let's grab a call, let's listen to it. And then one-on-one with the individual rep with their call at least once a week.
And then we play that over the phone system for the entire building to hear, right?
I love it.
Maybe not. You'll hear the presses whirring in the background.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're doing that. I kind of want you to role play this with Kevin, and I'm going to throw him under the bus here because
Great.
you are not as familiar with Kevin's business as you are mine.
Mm-mm.
So let's diagnose if Kevin's going to do some outbound work. You can. I don't want to give you the backstory, so you diagnose. Kevin will fill in some gaps on his history.
Okay.
And by the way, when I was in your industry, we probably did a better job at outbound activity than we do in the current business. We'll get back to it. But yeah, if you're both game, let's talk through some of that. So we have a real life scenario.
I got to call. I got to jump. I had only a half hour for this.
Yep.
So if you want to
right before then, so let me put a button on this and we'll roll.
Yeah.
All right. So Nick, if people want to get a hold of you, and we just scratched the surface of a lot of this, we're going to do a follow-up. But they want to get a hold of you, they have specific questions. How do they reach out to you?
Give me Nick at Sales Performance Team. Email. Go online to salesperformanceteam.com or LinkedIn.
Perfect. You have a lot more information to share. We're going to get you back on. We'll get people excited about sales as much as they are marketing, because again, I think it's 1 + 1 is 5. I think they're all hard by themselves, but you put them together and it works. So I appreciate your time today. We will have you back soon, and we will talk to you soon, Nick. Thanks.
Thanks for listening to the Triceratops podcast. Be sure to subscribe and leave your comments. For more information on how Jurassic Marketing Direct Mail can help grow your business, visit JurassicMarketing.com.